KUAM News Headlines is presented by Calvo's Insurance, serving Guam for 80 years. Matson and the Adai Itano program. All new 2018 Kona by Hyundai, available at Cars Plus. IP&E, fueling excellence. McDonald's of Guam, I'm loving it. And King's Restaurant, located in Tamuning and Dedido. Always open, always local.
Ahead on Primetime, multiple allegations of sexual assault at a local shelter. Now one man is placed under arrest. Plus, a new allegation of sexual abuse at the hands of a Catholic priest. And power rates are expected to go up again soon. Nestor Lecanto with a look at how much.
Hafa and good evening. A series of unfortunate events and in a place children and families in need seek refuge. We brought you the story about an investigation underway after reports of sexual assault at a local shelter. Now, an in-house resident of Sanctuary is under arrest. Carmen Terlahi has tonight's top story.
The alleged sexual violence happened multiple times, the latest landing J. Daniel Fama Nedadog in prison on charges of 3rd and 4th degree criminal sexual conduct. It happened at the young adult home, a shelter at Sanctuary Incorporated. Court documents giving chilling details. The victim, only 21, says the first incident happened on April 2nd. She told authorities she was getting ready to sleep in the living room when the suspect approached her, hugged her, and touched her all over her body. He then brought her to his room, accused of forcing himself onto her, even after she told him no. The suspect responding, quote, "You have no choice. You can't refuse it. You have to do the things I tell you to do." She tried to get away, but that's when the suspect grabbed her, threw her on the bed, took off her pants, and digitally penetrated her before he forced her to have sex. It didn't stop there. On April 19th, the suspect asked the victim to follow him to the garden. She thought it was to apologize, but he demanded sex. He told her, quote, "I'm crazy. I have a crazy mind. I'm psycho, and I have a sex problem. And you better not say anything. You know what I'm gonna do." The suspect pulled her pants down and covered her mouth to prevent the victim from screaming for help. The next day, the suspect is accused of shoving the woman into the Sanctuary van, where he digitally penetrated her. Then on April 24th, he goes to the victim's room, locks the door, and starts rubbing her genitals over her clothing as he rubbed himself. The final assault on May 14th inside the laundry room, where the suspect locked the door and pulled the victim by the hair, forcing his private parts into her mouth. Investigators also learned that on April 24th, a second victim, 24 years old, asked the suspect to pop her back. That's when he allegedly touched her genitals and inner thigh. She was able to push him away. Guam police say their investigation found 3 victims were sexually assaulted on separate occasions at Sanctuary. Executive Director Therese Areola says Nedadog's stay at Sanctuary's young adult transition shelter was immediately terminated. This type of conduct, she assures, is taken seriously, especially since Sanctuary works to be a safe space for children of abuse.
We have zero tolerance for such acts here at Sanctuary, as the community should have. We should not tolerate acts of violence of any kind, any form. And Sanctuary has done so much good work here in the community, and this is an unfortunate situation that will be dealt with, and it won't stop us from continuing the good work we do in the community.
Areola says the priority is working with in-house counselors and community partners to get care to victims, who she called courageous, for speaking up and preventing further violence. We should note Nedadog was on pretrial release for a separate family violence case, where he is accused of arguing with the victim, shoving her face, and scratching her neck. Prison records also show he has a 2015 assault and family violence case. Meantime, Areola confirms Sanctuary is increasing safeguards already in place. That includes ramping up routine bed checks and placing cameras in shared spaces of the shelter to catch any illegal activity. Reporting for Guam News Network, I'm Carmen Victoria Terlahi.
Thanks, Carmen. Another person coming forward alleging he was sexually molested by Father Adrian Cristobal. The victim, identified as J.E. to protect his privacy, alleges that when he was 10 through 12 years old, he was sexually molested and abused when he was serving as an altar boy at the San Vicente San Roque Catholic Church in Barrigada, where Father Adrian was a priest. J.E. alleges he was sexually molested multiple times at the church, at Father Adrian's home, and at a altar boy retreat at a private beach in Ipan, Talafofo. J.E. is now 33 years old and lives in the state of Virginia. He is now the third person to come forward with child sex abuse allegations against Father Adrian. The first one filed was a little over 1 month ago. Although Father Adrian was ordered by the local archdiocese to return to Guam, he is not yet returned. Archdiocese Communications Director Tony Diaz says Father Adrian has until June 15th to return to Guam or face sanctions. He's accused of attacking an ex-girlfriend and taking her against her will. Francis Ang Imbo is charged with kidnapping, burglary to a motor vehicle, aggravated assault, family violence, and criminal mischief. Court documents stating the suspect approached the woman known to him at the Micronesia Mall parking lot early Monday. The victim had been talking to her current boyfriend when the suspect started arguing with them. He allegedly punched the victim and her boyfriend in the face. The impact caused the woman to black out. She later got up and went into the suspect's car out of fear. He then drove her to a building in Tamuning before telling her to leave. The woman then walked back to the scene of the alleged incident, and both victims reported it to the cops. The suspect didn't deny the allegations when questioned by police. He said he would answer for his mistakes and that he was sorry that the incident had occurred. The police investigation into the alleged plot to kill a GPD officer is being scrutinized in the trial against Jeremiah Isazaki. Arresting officer Peter Paulino was called to the witness stand on Tuesday. Paulino was the detective who interviewed Isazaki. He testified that Isazaki was read his rights prior to being questioned, but when asked by defense counsel Doug Moylan to recite the Miranda rights, Officer Paulino could not recall them off the top of his head. The same goes when he was asked about the elements of the crime of conspiracy to commit murder and terrorizing. This response coming from a seasoned GPD officer of 12 years. Additionally, Paulino testified there was no actual threat conveyed by Isazaki to Babalta, only based on what was said by witness Janessa Corpus. Paulino admitted that the focus of the investigation was on the alleged murder plot and that other meanings such as setting up Babalta to be arrested were not explored. Additionally, former co-defendant Michael Torrey will not be testifying against Isazaki. Torrey was called before Judge Maria Senzon, in which he refused to be a witness for the government, violating the terms of his plea agreement. He stated that he and Isazaki have been companions since 2012, making it difficult for Torrey to speak against him. Torrey now faces a year of imprisonment for violating his plea agreement. Derick Baza Hills will have to pay $1,000 if he wants to be released on bail. His attorney, public defender William Bischoff, filed a motion to have Hills released on his own personal recognizance. However, at today's hearing, the motion was denied by Judge Maria Senzon. Hills is being charged with impersonating a police officer, theft by deception, and theft by threatening. He had also tested positive for drugs a day after the motion was filed, while also on pretrial release on a separate case for forging a prescription for Percocet. Powdery substance believed to be drugs are found during a shakedown at the Department of Corrections in Mingilao. DepCorp Director Tony Lamarena says about 1 gram of the substance was found inside a water cooler in the Post 7 housing unit. The contraband has been turned over to the Guam Police Department's Mandania Drug Task Force. Lamarena adds police still need to test the substance, but he tells KUAM it appears to be meth. It's the first in a series of oversight hearings for the Chamorro Land Trust Commission, the agency's oversight chair, hoping to get answers on the apparent land scam uncovered by our Chris Barnett. He joins us from the Guam Congress building with more. Chris.
Thank you. The hearing underway in the legislature's public hearing room. And as you could see, Chamorro Land Trust applicants and even leaseholders making their way in to not just testify, but to kind of follow up. I was talking with one family. They say whenever they call the Chamorro Land Trust Land Management, no one ever answers the phone. So they felt like this was a good opportunity to get their questions answered. Now remember, the Land Committee Oversight Chair, Senator Tom Atta, says he wants the Chamorro Land Trust applicants and leaseholders to show up to the public hearing, and he wants to hear the good and the bad. Now, I don't know how much good we're going to hear today. But of course, we'll have the full story for you on KUAM News tomorrow. I saw the board chairwoman, Pika Farron, as well as several other board members, Senator Frank Uggan, who kind of, raised some issues with the clearing of the Barrigada Heights property. And that, compounded with the KUAM News investigative reports, really snowballed this issue that has become a very controversial one with the Chamorro Land Trust. So I'll be sure to bring you all the very latest tomorrow on KUAM News. Back to you in studio.
Great job. Thanks, Chris. Residents and businesses along Bellow Road and the lower Barrigada Heights area could have their water restored as early as tomorrow. Water officials say the reservoir that feeds the area has been really low. The outage has been affecting customers since Sunday, including St. Dominic's Senior Care Home. Officials say they have put a water tanker out to help some of those affected. The outage comes as GWA has scheduled a smoke testing of the sewer lines along Bellow Road. That test will be done tomorrow from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. in the afternoon. Stay tuned. We are back with more news after the break.
There are more ways to experience KUAM News than any other source on Guam. Download the KUAM News app for your Apple or Android device for 24/7 news, sports, videos, weather, streaming of KUAM radio, and important news alerts. And stay connected at home with Guam's first app for Apple TV. All available now from the App Store.
Half the day, I'm in the club.
Half a day, welcome to Two Lovers Point.
Half a day, I'm in the club.
In this divided world, there are still things that unite us. Great music, thrilling games, and the love for that perfect burger. Ruby Tuesday Guam, for the love of burgers menu. For a limited time, get an amazing burger for just $11.99. Lunchtime at Ruby Tuesday Guam.
Welcome to
No envelopes?
No deposit slips?
Welcome to
Wow!
That's it?
That's really easy.
Welcome to the new Bank of Hawaii Easy Deposit ATMs for personal and business accounts. Just insert your checks or cash. No deposit slips or envelopes. Confirm your deposit and get a receipt with your checks printed right on it. Welcome to the next generation of
Wow!
Cool!
Easy.
Welcome to tomorrow. Bank of Hawaii.
There are more ways to experience Guam via KUAM News, giving you what you want, when you want, and how you want it. From smart devices, Alexa, what's in the news?
Here's your flash briefing.
Over the web, on mobile, on streaming platforms, with immersive, interactive formats, and via social media where it's more than just content, it's conversation. More ways to keep you informed and entertained whenever you want it, wherever you are, on whatever device you're using.
Welcome back. Power rates are expected to go up again soon, and as usual, rising oil prices are the reason. GPA is not sure just yet how much of an increase it will be, but is hoping it won't be more than $10 a month for the average residential consumer of 1,000 kilowatts. Nestor Lecanto has more.
Blame it on global market conditions, says GPA General Manager John Beneventi. He says volatility and uncertainty among the likes of China and the Middle East are factors.
The market is very jittery right now, and the price of oil continues to go like this instead of trying to stabilize.
But Beneventi says there is light at the end of the tunnel, if you will. He says as GPA's renewable energy capacity reaches 25% and a new 180-megawatt power plant comes online that's more efficient and burns cheaper fuel, GPA will become less susceptible to volatile oil prices.
We'd like our customers to know that in the next 3 to 5 years, really, we are going to have some substantial control as to what your rates may be.
He's hoping that oil stabilizes at about $70 a barrel. They will opt for a penny per kilowatt hour increase to 16.5 cents, which translates into that $10 a month increase. GPA will still be about $7 million short of full cost recovery. Managing fuel expenses is critical.
Otherwise, then we start looking at cutting back on maintenance, cutting back on other things, just to pay the oil, and then that's not good for any of us.
To insulate further from volatile prices, GPA's goal is to reach 50% renewable energy by 2030. He says customers can help too.
If we can find a way to reduce our consumption, as we get to the point where we can control our rates, by having other things than oil, then I think that will be a good mix in the future.
Any rate increase will still need CCU and PUC approval and would go into effect on August 1st. For Guam's News Network, I'm Nestor Lecanto.
The deadline for renewing Guam's first charter school is fast approaching. Senators bringing the Charter School Council to the table to hear their concerns and stakeholders expressing frustration over the withholding of GAC's candidacy status for accreditation. Still, parents and students are hopeful the school will stay open. Carmen Terlahi reports.
Students, teachers, parents, and stakeholders filled the public hearing room Monday night to keep Guahan Academy Charter School open, saying the choice to choose Guam's first charter school is a positive alternative for students like third grader Bryce.
I really want the school to I don't want the school to shut down. Ms. Moffness is trying her best to keep the school open. I really appreciate Ms. Moffness and her hard work.
Students said they are succeeding in the GAC's educational model that differs from traditional public school curriculum, teachers citing higher test scores as proof. But the success, parents like Jadine Molinos notes, goes far beyond the classroom.
Like my son can't spell. Sorry. Okay. And then my daughter, I didn't know she was being bullied, and nobody said anything to me. So Guahan has provided them with friends and teachers who care about them. And I would hate to see that go.
By law, Renewal requires that GACS attains accreditation within 5 years, a goal officials say they're working towards, but haven't checkmarked. In a letter sent by WASC, GACS was withheld and denied candidacy status for failing to meet requirements. The school has been scrutinized in the past for failure to start school on time, financial discrepancy in spending, and most recently, a notice of eviction for 2 months of failing to pay rent. GAC's legal counsel confirms WASC's letter was appealed Monday. The discussion of accreditation was tabled for a later work session with the Charter School Council, though Chairwoman Amanda Blas tells KUAM the council is following the law and will have a decision for students and families by June 15th. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Carmen Victoria Terlahi.
Only 8 senators showed up for session today, barely enough for a quorum. But the proceedings ended abruptly when Senator Michael San Nicolas walked out. Lawmakers were debating his resolution to amend the Organic Act to mandate that money be set aside to pay for tax refunds. Lawmakers were split over the proposal, with some arguing it would create a cash flow problem for the government, which uses the money to pay for operations. Others said we don't need a federal law to dictate how the money is spent. San Nicolas said it would ensure that the public gets paid the money that's due to them and would put an end to continual borrowing to pay refunds. Here's more from what happened on session floor today.
This resolution, Madam Speaker, is not an abdication of our ability to self-govern. It is an acknowledgement that we know what has to be done, and we're going to do whatever it takes to make sure it happens.
But Vice Speaker Therese Terlahi, who spoke out against the resolution, objected to moving it forward for a vote, which sparked some tense moments.
I just don't see procedurally. All of the House, there's only 8 members. Your objection would prevent it from going down to the third reading file. You are single-handedly stopping this resolution from moving forward, Madam Speaker.
It has been heard on the floor, presented. There was discussion by members of this body on the resolution, and without any valid objection to it in substance, I don't see that there is a reason why it is not worthy of a vote.
Then, Mr. Speaker, I will depart, and there will be no quorum to continue.
Session reconvenes Wednesday. Absent for Tuesday's session were Senators Tommy Morrison, Tom Atta, Frank Agun Jr., Talina Nelson, Regine Bisco Lee, Joe San Augustine, and Senator Dennis Rodriguez Jr. The Guam Bar Association announcing a new ethics committee. At a special meeting on Monday, GBA President Jackie Terlahi, with board approval, appointed an investigative and adjudicative panel. Terlahi says new committee members will help the Judiciary of Guam appoint a new ethics prosecutor after former ethics prosecutor Bruce Bradley was removed from the role he held since 2007. Officials believe this is, quote, the first step in addressing serious concerns that have arisen in recent weeks, end quote. The Supreme Court will still have to approve the appointments. You can view the full list of appointees on our website. The University of Guam will soon select its new president. The Presidential Search Committee has released the names of its 3 finalists. They are Dr. Thomas W. Crees, Dr. Bruce Murphy, and Dr. Hamid Shirvani. The finalists will be invited to the campus next month to meet with students, faculty, the interim president, Dr. Robert Underwood, and the Board of Regents. Dr. Crees served in the U.S. Air Force for 22 years before retiring as a lieutenant colonel. He also served on the faculty of the Air Force Academy in Colorado Springs, as well as president at Pacific Lutheran University in Tacoma, Washington, a dean at the University of the Pacific in California, and chair of the English department at the University of Florida. Dr. Murphy is a consultant for the College and University of Presidents, Inc. of Peabody, Massachusetts. Among his list of teaching experience, he was also president of Nicholls State University in Louisiana, a vice president at the Air Force's Air University in Montgomery, Alabama, and served in the U.S. Army. Dr. Shirvani has 39 years of experience in the field of higher education. He served as president of Briarcliff University and senior fellow at the American Association of State Colleges and Universities. He was the Chancellor of the North Dakota University System, President of California State University, Executive VP at Chapman University, VP at Queens College, a Dean at UMass, and the University of Colorado. A total of 60 people applied for the job. Search Committee Chair William Leon Gross states the caliber of these finalists is at an extremely high level. The PSC is very impressed with their credentials and wide range of substantive experiences. The board will make the final choice after meeting with each of those candidates. And with regional headlines, here's KSPN2 News.
Half a day, Guam. Here's what's making news in the CNMI. In 2017, the legislature mandated poker rooms to be relocated out of the residential areas. The original law, which was signed by the late Governor Eloy Enos in 2013, came into full effect on October 1, 2017, making neighborhoods of Saipan safer for the residents. However, the tremendous improvement to neighborhood safety was undone last Friday when the Saipan and Northern Islands legislative delegation voted to allow poker rooms to spread out in the villages by rezoning certain areas of Koblerville, Eslito, Funasisu, Dandan, and Kegman. Several residents from the villages are interviewed, and they all share the same concerns, but only one is willing to speak in front of the camera. And it appears the sentiments of the people have not changed since last year.
We should have a say in what goes on in our community, especially because we live here. No, I don't think it's a good idea, especially for the community. There's comes poker. There's been in the past where there's drugs involved or people are fighting, robbing, stuff like that, all because of a poker.
According to Representative John Paul Sablan, who introduced House Local Bill 20-48, the proposed zoning is consistent with the zoning office's recommendations. KSPN2 News reached out to zoning to verify this fact and to see if its position has changed since last year, but was unable to get a response.
This is the place we call home, the residential area, so when we go to work and come home and we see poker, some people just get tempted to just go and spend their hard-earned money on just something that's not really good for them. Small picture, big picture is still not a good idea.
The bill now goes to the governor's desk. Watch these top stories and more at saipantv.com. For KSPN2, I'm Adriana Cotero.
Sports is next, but first, here's weather.
Smartphone Super Sale Event. enjoy huge savings on our most popular Samsung Galaxy smartphones. But this offer won't last long. So drop into a GTA store today.
It's a celebration at Cars Plus in Mighty. And during our Jeep Celebration event, you'll save thousands on every new Jeep in stock. Like a new 2018 Compass, save up to $3,750. Or save up to $4,000 on a new 2018 Cherokee. How about a new Renegade? Save up to $6,000. Plus, buy today and receive a Cars Plus value card where you get 21 cents off per gallon at all Shell stations. Hurry in for our Jeep Celebration event. Going on now at Cars Plus in Mighty. Cars Plus, driven by you.
KUAM Sports is presented by Triple J.
Dave Delgado here for KUAM Sports, brought to you by Triple J. High school bowling championships on the way, but first off, IIAAG girls high school soccer as the Notre Dame Royals stay unbeaten after 3 seasons. Check it out. The Notre Dame Royals are still IIAAG girls soccer champions after defeating the GW Geckos 4-0 in the title game. This year's title makes it 3 in a row for the Lady Royals, who haven't lost a game in 3 seasons. ND Cheyenne Roberto scored in the 8th minute, getting her shot to go past GW's keeper. Brianne Leon Guerrero found the back of the net in the 24th minute. Her first shot attempt was blocked and saved, but 41 seconds later, Leon Guerrero blew by the defense and got the shot to go for the second score of the match. Erin Anulau kept the door shut on the Geckos, keeping them scoreless through 80 minutes of play. Brianne Leon Guerrero had that Steph Curry range on the soccer pitch. Leon Guerrero took the shot from well outside the box for the 3-0 lead heading into the halftime break. ND kept the pressure on GW's Alana Garcia, at times drawing 2 defenders on the Geckos team captain. Brianne sealed the deal, scoring her 3rd goal of the evening in the 65th minute for her hat trick as the Royals won 4-0 and were crowned 2018 girls high school soccer champs.
It feels great. It was really a team effort, and we did it.
We did more passing, we used our wings, and we used our running to our advantage. Our defense stayed composed, and we didn't let up.
The 2018 Guam High School Bowling League came to an end after weeks of competition at the Central Lanes Bowling Center. This season's inaugural event was hosted by the Guam Bowling Congress. Taking home the team championship was the Ukadu Bulldogs. Jacelyn Espiritu and Jeremiah Camacho teamed up to bring home the title. The 2 bowlers were also crowned the All-Island Individual Champions. Peter Gay and Sebastian Loyola took home the gold medal in the doubles event representing Tees High. Jordan Hattori and Paul Perez finished with the silver medal. Bronze went to Ukadu's Tyler Claros and Angelo Guerrero. Rosanna Lynn Canlis and Alyssa Benamarito won the girls doubles event for the Ukadu Bulldogs. Lulu Crisostomo and Maylee Kittigwa won silver for ND. Ukadu's B team of Dominica Yilui and Kaylani Chaoy finished with bronze. Tees High's Alana Fegeger took silver for the girls individual. Carmen Gogui took bronze for ND. GW's Frank Manabusan took silver for the boys individual event. Tees High's Cam Santos finished with bronze. First Hawaiian Bank donated a $20,000 check to Micronesian Sports Foundation. The money will help with different leagues and activities put on by Guam Elite Basketball. Youth players dressed in their uniforms filled the Guam Elite Gym as part of Parent Appreciation Day. A scrimmage game between players and parents took place after the donation. First Hawaiian Bank Senior Vice President and Region Manager Ed Untalon presented the check to Dom Sablon, Will, and Darren Stinnett from Guam Elite Basketball. Well, that's going to do it for sports. We're back right after this.
Manakai Athletic Club and Manhoban Swim Club present Guam Cocos Crossing 2018 on Sunday, May 27th. Experience the excitement of an ocean swim in the beautiful waters of Cocos Lagoon. Open to swimmers age 9 and up. Choose from 3 options: a 3K race, 5K race, and 10K race. Register online at guamcocoscrossing.com by Wednesday, May 23rd. Supported by these fine sponsors.
At Island Cancer Center, we treat our patients and their families like our family. We have all been touched by cancer, and it is important to feel comfortable and secure under the care of our health professionals. You can count on us for skilled cancer specialists, the most advanced cancer-fighting technology on the island, and a commitment to caring for you or your loved one with compassion, respect, and empathy. Our family, treating your family.
Island Cancer Center, located on Guam Medical Plaza. Visit us at islandcancercenter.com or call 646-3363.
Summer's right around the corner, but first shift into spring with Triple J. With 0 down, 1.9% financing, and easy trade-in. Get into our big boy truck, the Ford F-150, starting at $298 per paycheck. Car and Drivers 10 Best Mazda CX-9 at $242 per paycheck. The Mazda 3 Sedan at only $137 per paycheck. Or the North American Car of the Year, the 2018 Honda Accord at only $216 per paycheck. Visit us online at triplejguam.com and get pre-approved instantly. Trade-ins welcome. Some conditions apply. See dealer for details. Triple J Auto Group. Customers first.
Welcome back. Before we close out the news tonight, here's your latest round of birthday shout-outs from the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club with Jason Salas.
It is a happy birthday to Bill Manglonia. Bill lives in Rhoda, but people all over the world are saying happy birthday to you today. Also, happy birthday number 64 to Juan Taitingfong. We love you, and we hope you get well soon so you can come home, says your loving family. Also, happy belated birthday wishes tonight to Dorothea Taimanglo Manabusan of Pidi, who currently resides in Killeen, Texas. Happy birthday, Grandma, says your family.
And that's it for Primetime. Carmen's next.
Closed captioning is brought to you by IT&E.